What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Before we do what we normally do, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Listen, I want to have a quick live feed with you guys tonight. I know it's late, but your boy been humping all day long. Having a live feed in regards to a very special subject that I keep near and dear to me, and that's how to help your kids become entrepreneurs. You guys know I'm a mentor, and I've been a mentor for over the past 20 years, coaching youth sports, being a proud member of 100 Black Men of America, and just put my hands on a lot of young men and young women over the past couple of years. And I just want to be able to share my experience with mentoring and dealing with young entrepreneurs, and most importantly, even the ones that have been in my household, my children. What I did right, what I did wrong, give you guys tips in regards to if you're looking to raise future entrepreneurs, how to, give you some good tips on, how to steer them in that direction. What's going on, QN? What's going on, everybody? Listen, right now we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We got over 400 videos on the YouTube channel covering business operations, business finance, business management. The best way to follow all the great information we do have is to go to the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. Even though we're on the different platforms, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. That is the main hub for all the videos. Subscribe to the channel and take advantage of all the great information we have on the channel. Also, I got a call in going live right now. If you guys do want to call into the show, you can call us in at 678-961-3176. The only people that shouldn't be able to see the call in number is anyone that's following on TikTok and Instagram. But just give you guys, but anywhere else, you should see the call in number scrolling at the bottom. Again, that number is 678-961-3176. I'm going to put this quick disclaimer out there. If you have a question regarding anything outside of what we're talking about right now in regards to how to help your children become entrepreneurs, please hold your question to the end of the show, and I promise you that I answer all your questions. Okay, so the first thing when we start talking about helping kids become entrepreneurs, guys, you guys know I've been a serial entrepreneur over 20 years, and I, started, sold, lost, bought, all that good stuff, different businesses. And I, like a lot of parents, had those aspirations of, Deonte and Sons and Deonte, boys will be able to do this and stuff. And that was real cool when I didn't have any money. So once I started gaining some kind of success, and so you're in business, you start doing things and things start to grow and gain traction, and your kids are little and then they start growing up. What you find out a lot of times is that your kids have no damn interest whatsoever in what you're doing. That doesn't mean they're going to be lazy. Doesn't mean they want to do anything. They're just really not interested in what you want to do. Now, that doesn't mean that what you want for them to have. That doesn't mean they don't necessarily want to, follow in the footsteps of entrepreneurship, even career path wise. It may just be the particular thing that you're doing. And a lot of times that can be don't have a genuine interest, but most of the times it comes with seeing a parent struggle growing that particular business because right now, I think my youngest son, which is 12, sees a much smoother machine than my 28-year-old son sees. And my 28-year-old son was very adamant about, I don't want to do it. Now, understanding, hey, the machine is rolling now. It'd be a great time if you take advantage of it. Whereas my youngest son kind of feel like, hey, really it's just kind of plug and play. Daddy step out, I step in, and we keep it moving. But with that said, I can look back at it and see, hey, these are probably some things I probably should have did a little differently, and these are some expectations that I shouldn't have. In regards to bringing my kids along, just thinking about entrepreneurship. And guys, I will say this before we get started. You know, I'm 150% in love with entrepreneurship. People want to start a business and be business owners and stuff. But I always say at the end of the day, it's all about you being happy. This is not entrepreneurship, being a business for yourself is not for everyone. Okay. If you want to be at your job, again, wake up every morning, go to your job, and you feel good about getting out of bed and going to work, have at it. If you want to get out of bed and work for yourself, do your own thing, have at it. But what I do want to just, promote, number one, that you be happy with whatever you do in life. But if you want to go down that road of entrepreneurship, you want to go down that road of starting your own business, or quote unquote, want to be your own boss, I'm here to give y'all the help and insight on the things to do and some things that you shouldn't do, and also some things that you should expect from a positive and a negative standpoint. But again, we start talking about your children, want to go down the road of entrepreneurship. One thing that I will say, that, and I think this is the most important thing, I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it at the end of the discussion, guys. Again, feel free to give us a call at 678-961-3176. You got to make sure you support your kids. You got to support your kids, because what parents have to understand is that the advice or the words that a parent says has the most influence on their children at a younger age. Okay, if they get older, they meet other people, they may put less weight. As parents, especially when kids get to be teenagers, for some odd reason, our children think we're dumb as hell and we don't know a damn thing. We just came out of an egg, years after they were born. But when they're younger, you're regarded as a hero to your child, and your child looking up to you, and they put a lot of weight in what you say. So with that said, you have to be very, very careful when you're talking to them, because support is crucial in the infant stage of any person, especially when you start thinking about going in business with yourself. I think I did a decent job in regards to not trying to necessarily, crushing one of my kids' dreams and anything like that. And keep in mind, the youngest is not really showing anything. He wants to do little YouTube videos, but the three older boys have been in business for themselves. My oldest son, he's a teacher by profession. He's a former college football player. He played SEC ball, and he's been a personal trainer and athletic trainer for the past 4 or 5 years since he got out of college. My second son is in college, but and I've I told you guys I started cutting hair when I was like 12 years old, and I was real big into cosmetology, but and also being a salon owner for 17 years. He kind of gravitated to that, and he's real big on the whole hair industry, from cutting hair to doing women's hair, to buying and selling wigs. Check out Chet Styles on Instagram. And Junior has been real heavy with his own businesses and doing things like that. And I think he's hitting some of the entrepreneurial bumps in regards to traction and things like that. My third son, Christopher, he's dabbling in different things over the past couple of years. He's a senior in high school, but I think I haven't seen anything just to strike me that, hey, that's the path he wants to be heavy on or anything like that. But with all that said, they've all done different things, and they've all done things that I wouldn't necessarily say they wouldn't have the path that I wanted them to go down in regards to their businesses. So, but with that said, I was never the one to tell them you're doing it wrong. You should do it this way. If they came to me for advice, I pretty much would just give my opinion. I would tell them why I felt that way, and how much weight they want to put into it, they can put into it. Not that I try to just sit here and just let them go into down a road that wasn't the best path, but I wanted them to be able to think. I would say one of the most important skill sets that a parent can get a child is the ability to think, to not just, because it's easy for you to tell your kids do this, do that, but the why is very important, because if they don't understand the why or the hows, when they get out on their own, you got this damn imbecile that's going to be making all these mistakes. Everything's going to be OJT. But if you teach your child how to think and process, gather information, think, process, and then make a sound informed decision. That's the way you want to be. So when they do leave the nest, they're able to do those particular things. So I do think the whole aspect of supporting your children is super, super important in regards to just like, hey, when they come up with ideas, even if you're not familiar with it, that you're actually, just on board with, hey, man, figure it out, give it a try. If it don't work, just, at least you say you tried. And that's been one of my main paths for doing that. Again, just giving that initial support to your children, letting them know, hey, I'm there. And, even if I can't directly answer your question, I still on the right path to try to help somebody, seeing someone that could help you. The second thing is you want to kind of inspire your kids to have, some form of creativity, thinking outside the box. The world is always going to reward people. We talked to people from two sets, and that's thinkers and fixers. If you can create, you can innovate, you can make things easier for people, solve problems. The world always have a place for you. The world always have a place for people that fix things, right? If you can fix things, repair, stitch it up, make it better than what it was before, the world will always have a place for you. It's the damn doers. When you only do stuff and you looking, can you hire me this? Can you fix me? Can you give me this? Can you call somebody to do that? That's when y'all gonna have damn problems. But if you can create and you can also repair and fix, the world always has a place for you. I'm not tripping on anybody, whatever, regardless of what road you go down, but you gotta understand, the consequences of being that way. You don't have to be a master, repair person. You don't have to be a master inventor or creator, but you need to try to be able to fix something, right? You ought to be able to, be able to do something. I don't give a damn, anything, right? You can just swing a hammer, put a nail in a porch. Something you just need to be able to do that, because again, I push all the time, guys. You want to make sure put yourself in a position where you can be somewhat of recession proof. Things happen, things change, things stop, things quit all the time in your life that you'll never have control of. And you want to have some kind of skill set, some kind of thing that you can do uniquely. If things go left, you can be able to take care of yourself. Preferably want to have more than one. But again, encouraging creativity, thinking outside the box, not necessarily going with the status quo. Encourage that with your children. Don't tell them what they think is stupid. Don't tell them, what people think about their ideas. It makes no sense, even just because you don't get it, right? That's one of the things about it. A lot of times parents, we push our kids as far as what we know to do, right? But at the end of the day, it's a big world out there that we're totally uninformed about with a lot of subjects. So if you can help your child go in a direction that, that's kind of against the grain of what you guys normally see, you'd be super surprised what your child can think of in regards to creating, solutions for that. Q ain't got supporting your children imperative for their growth. Absolutely. And you think about it, guys. When we start talking about thinking out of the box and being innovative and being creative, that's how you got your Airbnbs. That's how you got your Lyft, your Ubers. That's how you got your pad splits. All those disruptive to industries, right? You see all these different E-trades and like Acorn and stuff like that. From your traditional brokerage houses and stuff. Somebody had to think of it. And somebody had to say, well, look, man, it ain't stupid. Let me just try it. And now that's what you see now, cars driven off electricity. Now, we're looking at maybe another 10, 15 years, we might have hydrogen powered cars. If you can think it and kind of perceive someone in your mind, a lot of stuff is possible, right? We really might be living like the Jetsons in the next, 20, 30 years and stuff like that. Who knows? Because y'all got to excuse me, I got the dry mouth. Who knows? As long as you can ask the question why or how or is there a way to make things better? You never know what you'll be able to create. Okay, so again, we're talking about helping your kids become entrepreneurs. The first one being support, and also just helping them be creative, thinking outside the box, not feeling that the way they think or the way they see things is stupid or crazy. That so many times as parents or as the influential person or guardian of a younger person, we kill so many dreams because of our aptitude, and our resentment, different things like that. But if you can encourage your kids, say, man, just try it out, think about it and stuff. Because I've had some crazy ass shit come out my kids' mouth. I'm like, hey, what and I'm like, okay. And a lot of that, the ignorance comes because, I'm 45 years old. I don't know what the style is now. It's kind of like when I was younger and I pick stuff or play certain songs around my grandparents, and they just like, what the hell is that? It's just really they were just out of touch. So again, you'd be amazed how many things. Now, fundamentally, there are a lot of things because that we know as a parent or as an older person because we live life longer. But there are a lot of things we have no clue of the way things go now, and so we want to make sure we're very, very, very careful when we're having these conversations with our children, even listening to them, that we don't impose our ignorance rather, on them to kind of stall their growth or their maturation as being an entrepreneur or anything like that. Another thing you want to do, guys, want to make sure we encourage hard work. Talent and gifts is one thing. A lot you see people that are sometimes naturally can come up with things. You see, especially a lot in athletics. You're like, man, that little kid is gifted. Yeah, some people that have those gifts that they can be great orators. Just off the top, they have they come out being great leaders. They can look at math problems in a matter of seconds. Pop, they can come up with a solution for it and everything. But you have to understand hard work, and you got to be willing to grind. Do things when people sleep. Y'all know my motto. I work 20 hours a day, so I don't have to work 40 hours a week. You got to put in work, and you have to be understand that at the end of the day, if you have a goal that you're trying to achieve, and if you're expecting to do the same thing you normally do to get those particular goals, everybody will have it. So you have to do different things that no one else would want to do, that other people don't want to be uncomfortable with doing to get those goals. And that's one of the biggest things. I think people want stuff, but they want the success and they want to do certain things, but they don't do all the stuff to put them in that situation. And that's a big difference with a lot of folks. You see that beginning of the year, what happens? Everybody joins the gym. Everybody wants to lose weight, get that summer body. You know what I'm saying? But by the time spring hit, it ain't happen. Girl, I'm going to Mexico get me a BBL. You know how you do it. Can't do it. The guy said, look, man, my abs ain't showing. My stuff not working right in my whole little physique. I'm gonna go get me some reductions here, some lipo there and stuff. And there you go. And I'm not knocking anybody and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, when you get to them crossroads, to that fork in the road where it's like, look, man, I'm plateauing here. It's not going anywhere. You got a decision to make. I'm gonna keep on fighting. I'm gonna just quit. Just try to take a different path. And far too often, when we choose to not take the different path, we cut it off. We stopped it because you never know what happens if you continue to fight, right? But we know what happens when we stop. Shit over with. We can't do nothing else about it. So we got to be very, very mindful when we giving our kids outs. Like, hey, man, look, I know you tried it. That was it. Hey, I told you that stuff was hard. This, that, and that. No, get your ass back out there and do it. Don't be my kids will tell you, man, don't be a damn punk. Now, if you try and it doesn't work, you can live with that. But don't you do it. Don't close. Really push to your kids, right? Don't let doors get closed on you. Don't close doors, because what you don't want to have happen, you live this life where you're looking back, I wish I had a what if I and stuff like that. Let the doors get closed on you. Let people tell you no, not you say no before you even attempt to do it, okay? And you have to push that into your kids, right? Because their courage, aptitude to keep going is just so limited because they only have so many years on the earth, so many life experiences so far. So it's very, very important that we can be that voice of reason. Like, look, man, don't let this shit hard. This shit hard. We acknowledge it's hard, but at the end of the day, you're harder. So at the end of the day, just keep fighting. And if it doesn't work out, you can live with it. But don't you quit. You can't just quit or stop without doing it. Put in that extra work. Keep putting in that time. Keep putting in those sacrifices and stuff like that. Take you a couple of L's so you can get that W. Do that. And I think if we can get that mindset with our kids, it'll help them a lot further down the way. The most difficult part of that, because most damn adults don't do that. Most adults quit before it's the finished product can be made. Being a youth football coach, a big phenomenon that I've seen over the past 10 years, not only just all the damn games people playing, but by far, was the amount of transferring that people were leaving parks and stuff like that, even at the high school level. People were leaving, you see, at the collegiate level. Shit don't go right for you. Coach ain't play as much. Now everybody's leaving. And what happens a lot of times, now I understand the situation. Somebody says, look, we don't want you. We don't have time for you. But it seems the first time people have adversity in their life, they got to quit. I got to leave. I got to stop. And you're not teaching your children really how to be brave. You're not teaching your children how to handle adversity or setbacks or anything like that, right? What I always remember being on losing teams in high school and football, and my coach is just saying, you guys be very successful in life. And we're stuck with them, like you said, because when things go rough, it take a lot to keep participating in something. And you know you can't make it to the playoffs. You know you can't make it to a championship. You know that you're on a losing team. You got to keep your head up because people are going to say, man, y'all sorry, y'all this, y'all that. It takes a lot. But what it does is build such great character in you to keep going on and not quitting. And a lot of times, it sounds, cliche for an adult to tell a kid to be a certain way, but at the end of the day, if you ain't built like that, it's going to be kind of hard to relay that because kids are not stupid. Whatever they see, mom and daddy can tell them a certain thing. You should do this, you can do that, but they also looking at you too. So you got to be very, very mindful of that. Which got you in. The greatest and most successful entrepreneurs was told no. Doors slam their face, but they keep pushing until the greatness happens. Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing of it is that, and I talk about this a lot. I appreciate that. We have to get out of the mindset of looking at failures as failures. Sometimes failures just teachable moments, right? You didn't do that right. Let me go back to the lab, make some adjustments here and there. But you can't be sensitive. You can't be, just out of touch that you can't get criticism with certain things. You got to grow your thick layer of skin. I'm on several different boards, man, and some stuff gets said. If you ain't kind of built right, I don't see grown men walk out and be like, look, man, hey, you don't want to go out right and call somebody a sissy, as a man, but hey, buddy, man, come on, man, we're just talking. You can't get in your feelings with everything. And I think far too often, people lose track of the greater good of organizations themselves because they get in their feelings. And if you can teach resiliency to your child as early as possible, work hard, be resilient, get that tough skin, and focus and get that mental toughness. Ooh, you're gonna have something tough. You're gonna have something tough out there, guys. One thing that a lot of times I think what a lot of people miss out on, that's just basic risk taking. Now we know. We start looking at theoretically taking risks and taking chances, right? And we say, we hear it all the time. And we know the difference between taking a chance and taking a risk. You're just taking a chance, you're just jumping with no kind of preparedness, no kind of research, nothing, whatever. It's like having unprotected sex. That's taking a chance, right? Okay. That's you there. We have no thought going into it. We just, just going behind that door and just say, we're hoping that bad behind it. But we take risks, we've done some kind of research. We know we got pros and cons. We know we got some things that could happen to us bad. But if we do it these particular ways, we can mitigate the risk of the things that can happen bad to us. And so you're making a decision where you can take some things that could be, maybe somewhat detrimental or can affect you negatively. But you've taken steps to educate yourself and put things in place to lessen the loss or make the loss not happen at all. So if you teach your child to take risks, look, make informed decisions, understand that, look, these things can happen, but you don't have to do that much of it. Instead of giving out 10, but you can lose everything, maybe give out 5 and see what's going on. But encourage your kids to take risks, because one thing about it, guys, you got to understand that when you're older, your opportunities to do certain things and even be riskier is limited because the actual, years you got left, especially if you start talking about from an investment standpoint, what you'll be able to do and the time frame, because we know the key components when we start talking about investing, compound interest, things like that, is time, rate and times, right? So the more time you have in your hand to do certain things, the kind of more riskier you can be. Then as that investment horizon, that time you can do stuff starts to shrink up, then the actual activities you may change from there. But at the end of the day, you want to teach your kids, like, take a couple chances here and see how it works. Don't bet the whole farm on it. We don't want you to walk around holding your pants up by a shoestring. But at the end of the day, take some chances where you can say, at least I tried. I learned from it, because what happened is when you start having a couple of those setbacks, and we don't like to say failures, but we have a couple of those setbacks or teachable moments, you can learn how to do it better, right? And I share you guys all the time when I had the studio downtown in Atlanta. I didn't do my proper due diligence. I didn't take the time to research things like I should have. Even me and my buddies, we had got investment property downtown Decatur, man. I was 20 grand, over 20 grand. And hell, all of us thought we knew what the hell we were doing, and we did know better. We knew better what we were doing, but we made some decisions. I can sit and say, yeah, we trusted this person, trusted that person, but it's not that we shouldn't have trusted the person. We still should have did the due diligence and maintain proper steps that really came back and bite us all in the butt. So I mean, even from somebody that's seasoned in business and somebody seasoned in investing, you still gonna make dumbass mistakes, right? So when you start talking about taking risks, make sure you encourage that. Like I said, not to be crazy and just put yourself in a bad situation, but just say, okay, cool, just do that. So you get an idea of things. Because what happens is when the thought process starts, like taking a couple risks and understanding how to gather information to make some decisions like that, they understand trends. What happens at certain times of the year, typically when certain things are happening in the industry, this happens, that happens. You gaining that experience, and you have to bump your head and cut your finger a couple of times to get those experiences. So without that, it won't happen at all. So don't be, in a situation where don't do, like what the song say, scared money don't make no money. And that's the truth. But at some point, you got to just sit there and say to yourself, like, look, man, I'm gonna bank on me sometimes. Again, be smart about it. Be smart about it. But don't just be so afraid to make a mistake or bump your head, okay? Another thing is, guys, and I was talking about this the other day on my live feed. We were talking about how to make sure changing lives. My other channel was like how to make sure your child gets a job after college. Make sure you're teaching your kids how to network, how to really, really network. One thing about it, guys, I know you guys heard a lot about late Kevin Samuels. One thing he used to always talk about, and I've been a firm believer in this for years, is just having a strong network is like an asset, just like money in the bank. When you have people in your Rolodex, so you can call in, not this, it's one thing to say, oh, I know Buddy, I met him here, friend, such and such. But when they know you. You got an influential person. You need a job. You're out of work. You need some help. This, that, and that. You can call this person. Your children need a job opportunity. You have a deal that's focused that hey man, I'm trying to get this contract with the city. Man, I forgot I know such and such at HR. Let me give him a call, see who he knows. I have this friend, he's a city manager at this county. He at a neighboring city. He making call them, see who he knows. Having a proper network, a strong network, is an asset. Just like I said, just like money in the bank and an investment you have, because when you have influential decision makers that and that know you, I ain't talking about you see them in the hallway and wave at them and say good morning, because that's one of the things you hear people say all the time. Well, I seen the president of the company, he waved at me in the morning. He laughed at my jokes in the elevator. That ain't shit I'm talking about. I'm talking about you can call them, they can call you, and at the end of the day, you can get a solid from them. And a lot of times people spend so much time just for whatever reason. They're afraid to talk, they're shy, they don't feel the need to network and speak with people, and not harnessing, the skill set with networking. Before you know it, man, when things happen or they need an opportunity, need somebody to make a decision for them, they don't know anyone that can help them. They'll know people and know other folks, but knowing someone personally that can help them or get them to somebody that can help them, because it's just as powerful to know the decision maker as to know someone that is influential to the decision maker. So if your child, if they've been equipped with how to, speak up for themselves, how to introduce themselves, how to listen to people, how to, value relationships, because we know that in business is all about relationships. No matter what's on that RFP contract bid, no matter what's listed on the job description, whatever, if you have a relationship, the bank application, the bank isn't approving loans, they're not doing certain things like that. If there's a relationship somewhere, a lot of stuff gets superseded. Let's keep it real. What we say out here all the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But the problem is nobody got any damn who's. So that's the thing you gotta be very, very careful of, guys. Make sure you try to get you some who's together. Make sure you can get some people that can be influential and help you make get certain things done for you. And the more that you can push that on your kids to understand that how to open their mouths and talk to strangers. Again, we got safety precautions. So I'm saying talk to strangers, but be safe by that. But what I mean by that, don't be so hesitant to not speak to people because your reluctance is you don't want to not seem cool. You don't want to kiss their tail, and you ain't trying to make. It's not about that. At the end of the day, you growing an asset for you, okay? And that's what you got to teach kids. Make sure they network. One of the last things is, guys, make sure that you teach your kids the importance. We're talking again how to help your kid. You know how to teach kids how to become an entrepreneur. Encourage the children to get them a mentor. Encourage the kids to try to reach out to somebody that's in the position they dream of being or that they see themselves in one day. Encourage them to reach out to somebody and get somebody to, give them some game and get them some knowledge and help them with some information that can help them go to the next level or whatever they're trying to do. Okay, because that's super important. Far too often people do things and they don't try to call people and stuff like that. And I seen that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I seen that with my children. Like, hey man, why would you bump your head? Even if you don't want to listen to pop, you don't think dad know what you're talking about, call Mr. Such and Such, call Miss Such and Such, see what she got to say, see what they bounce that idea up. But I want to do it myself. I think one of the most stupidest damn things in the world. Because we know that we can lose money, get that back, but we can't get what back? Time. Why waste time going down the wrong path to say I did it myself? And you constantly start over, constantly making failures. And you just say, well, look, man, I didn't know. You don't have to know. You just need to know how to get into contact with a person that does know. Let me say it again. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know how to get in contact with the people that do know. That's so important. And if you want to, and if it's an ego thing that you want to feel like I did it all myself, I fixed it all, this, that, and that, that's on you. That's on you. The time I spend trying to do shit that I'm not efficient with, the things that I'm not effective with, the things that I have no interest in doing, I could be doing something else, and I can find the other person that can do it that will be doing it much faster. It's probably cheap in the long run because I'm not wasting time. And at the end of the day, you'll understand that the more your vantage point changes from, again, the person that is trying to do something and the person reluctant to it. We talked about in the show in regards to the, sometimes people paying people. I think we talked about the landscapers. And I had a good conversation with some friends of mine. They were talking about they wanted to cut grass and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, look, man, the dude that cut my grass, he charged me $70 every time he hit my yard. I charge $210 an hour to open my mouth. Basic consultant, and that's $210 an hour to do that. At the end of the day, they're in and out of my yard, and I'm right at an acre. They're in and out of my yard in approximately 30 minutes. 30 damn minutes. 30 minutes. Cut, trim, blowed, everything. And they're out in 30 minutes. I know if my ass would get out there and do it with my old bad army back, it'll take a few hours. And then the cost of all the equipment from the cutters, the blowers, the trimmers, the edgers, and all the other BS, that's going to be a couple $1,000s. It'll take me months or years. Because it's only going to you're only going to be needed so many months out of the year. It'll take me years to get that money back. So I'm doing something that's going to take me years to get back. I'm also losing money because at the end of the day, I'm doing something that I'm not going to be efficient or effective with. And most importantly, the pain and aggravation of doing that yard going to linger on me, way past that. So teaching your children, again, thinking outside the box, understanding, getting proper mentors, getting people that can talk to them, be honest with them. And one thing I will encourage you can put your kids in, got a crazy world out here. So we do want to get people that are credible. We do want to get people that's informed. But anytime that you can get your kids around many different people that can give them different advice, it will help them in the longer run because they can get coaching and perspectives from all kind of different people, black, white, male, female, kind, gentle, a little mean. But the more you can get them in front of people that can give them game that they may not necessarily be familiar with, it helps them out a lot to be able to take criticism, information, education from different people, right? What we got right here, QN. I agree. Mentorship, motivation, commitment, and consistency is the road to success for our children. Absolutely, absolutely. But one key thing with that when we're doing that, and I appreciate that, one key thing with that is parents, you gotta get out your kids' way. You gotta get out your kids' way. Ain't nothing wrong with your kids being smarter than you. There's nothing wrong with your kids doing some shit that you totally uncomfortable with. You got to make sure that you're not holding them up or harming them, trying to push an agenda on what you want them to do. Okay, you still a parent. Don't get me wrong. You know, at the end of the day, Deonte ain't raised nobody damn kids. And I'm almost 3 down and 1 more to go. So again, I'm not telling parents like not to impose themselves on their children, but don't hinder your children. Okay. With that said, guys, that's why I want to give you guys, some information in regards to how to help your kids become entrepreneurs. At this time, since we had that discussion, I will open the floor up. So if you guys have any questions regarding entrepreneurship, business, investing, finance, anything like that, the floor is open. You can also call in at 678-961-3176. Again, that's 678-961-3176. If you don't have any questions, just want to type it in. The floor is open, you guys. I keep it open for a couple of minutes. If no one comes in, I'm going to shut everything down. But just bring you guys to speed with a couple of things. I did have to change platforms with the Mr. Short Dollar. How to start your own tax business course. How to start your own tax business course. I had to change platforms. So, we do. It's out there, but we're going to move it to another platform. Hopefully by the end of next week. It'll be worst case scenario the middle of the week after. It'll be up and running on there, but it still is currently running. As always, guys, the links for everything is in the description section of the videos on the YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn channels and everything. So again, most of the information will go off to the office number and stuff like that. You can't really see that on if you're on Instagram and TikTok, but that's why I encourage everyone to go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel and take advantage of all the great information we have there. Task course, anything else coming up? I can't think of anything. Does anyone have any questions in regards to business, finance, or anything like that? Like I said, Mr. Short Dollar ain't Mr. Cheap Dollar. So if you got the questions now, I'm getting answers out for free. We start calling on the phone and send them emails. You got to book an appointment then. So you got me right now. Take advantage of it, guys. Take advantage of it. I guess ain't nobody have any questions. Listen, guys, I appreciate all you guys tuning in. We won't have a show tomorrow. And I think tomorrow was Changing Lives anyway. Me and my kids going to a haunted house. We're going to have a blast tomorrow at the haunted house. But I'm probably doing 1 or 2 live feeds tomorrow during the day for both channels at different times. Don't know what time it'll be. But feel free, guys, if something come on your mind later on, in regards to what we're talking about, how to help your kids become entrepreneurs, leave a comment in the description section of the video on the YouTube channel, and I'll get back with you. Guys, I do a pretty good job of following up with people when they have questions and things like that, okay? But if no one has any questions, which I don't see or anything like that, I know I started late, and I apologize again about that. We got Q&A. I enjoyed the video, very educational. I learned a lot. Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad to help you. Glad to help you, young lady. Anybody else have anything? Well, listen. Take care of yourself. Again, no show tomorrow, but like I said, I don't think that was Mr. Short Dollar. I think it will change your lives. But be looking out for your boy. We got a lot more great information coming down the pipe. Make sure you share the channel. Tell everybody, as many people as possible about the channel and stuff. A lot of great information. Like I said, 400 videos, over 400 videos on the channel, okay? So take care of yourself, guys. Love you. Be safe, and talk with you soon.